So for this case of the week, this is kind of a simple case. This lady came in back in 2013, and she had some dark teeth on her left upper part of her smile, but the teeth on the right were perfectly fine. So she wanted to see what's possible to kind of make her smile look better. So when we look at this case, what's interesting is we have to come up with the right diagnosis. Like, how are we going to fix those two yellow teeth that are on her upper left? Well, what's required, of course, is that we take a couple of x-rays ahead of time. The x-rays showed us that she had a calcified canal on both of her front, the big front tooth and the one right next to it. So now we know that we can't bleach that tooth from the inside out. If those canals were still there, we just simply bleach the teeth from the inside out, and I think that would have leveled out the smile just fine. But we couldn't do that, so we have to instead put veneers over the front of those. And just putting two veneers on the yellow teeth is very difficult to make that match the other side perfectly. Plus, she didn't like some of the things with the teeth on the other side. She didn't like, for example, these white spots right here. She also didn't like how this canine tooth was tucked in, and so was this one. Actually, this one's almost in crossbite. And she wanted those two teeth to kind of come out a little bit. So instead of going through orthodontics like braces or Invisalign, we decided to just add a little bit to that tooth in the way of just adding some more porcelain to it. And so we're able to get the color right and get some alignment issues fixed on this case by just fixing the front 6 teeth. And so the next slide I'm going to show you is our actual prep of the teeth. In order to make room for this veneer to go on the tooth, we have to actually subtract a little bit of the enamel to make that work. So here you can see that's the subtraction of the enamel. We're talking about maybe a millimeter or so off of the surface. That now gives us room to put porcelain back in. Porcelain is going to block out that yellow area and to build back the smile to get the alignment just right. And so here it is after. Here's her smile before and after. And if we were to take a look, if we get the lips out of the way and get kind of a more clinical close-up look, that's what it looks like. She got what she wanted. She wanted nice, white, straight teeth, and I think we've accomplished that. We're able to cover up those yellow teeth, so now the left and the right sides match. And those canine teeth are no longer tucked in, like this is not tucked in anymore. In fact, it's coming more at the correct angle. And what's I like about this is this photograph taken, the after, was actually 8 years later. So you can see the gum tissue has responded well and things look great. And from a dentist perspective, when we put a mirror inside to take a look at the back, this is that same case 8 years later. If we're to take a look right here where the white veneer and the yellow part of the tooth meet right here and here, and you can kind of see it on the other, though that area is completely sealed. There's no staining, there's no gap, there's no leak of any kind. It's completely sealed. And so 8 years after the fact, I think we can rest assured that this is turning out quite nicely for her. Now, if we were to take a closer look at this, you're going to notice that the veneer on the right, on the patient's right, didn't go all the way up to the gum line. Take a look. See right there. It didn't go all the way up to the gum line. The gum line is all the way up here. If we would have taken that veneer and stretched it all the way up to that gum line, then the final result would be a tooth that would look uneven. That tooth would have looked too tall for that, you compare left versus right. So we decided to leave that veneer short of the gum line. Now, if we wanted to perfect this case, she could have gone in for gum surgery and lowered that gum down, or she could have went over to the other tooth and actually raised that up. But you see, if she would have done that, then the root would have been exposed. So sometimes with almost every case, there's little trade-offs we have to do to make sure that everything works out just right. But I would say that 8 years later, she's very happy with the result, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out as well. So I hope you enjoyed this case of the week. Take care.